A massive congratulations to Maryum, 100 episodes of Star Mogul podcast. This is a phenomenal achievement. It was an absolute honour to be invited onto your podcast, chatting style, fashion, women's health, and how to love the changes our body go through in our lifespan. May you continue to thrive, be successful, and inshallah, keep styling beautiful women.
Hi Maryum, huge congratulations on your 100 podcasts. It was really fun to be part of. Any chance to talk skincare with somebody who's thoughtful, fun and genuinely lovely is a pleasure. Thank you for including me, and here's to the next 100.
Hello from beautiful Dubai. I just want to say congratulations on your 100th episode. And I just want to say it was an honor to be on your podcast with you. And one of the main things that I took away from it was speaking to you was like a hug in a cup, if that makes any sense. It was a beautiful conversation, and it's always been warm whenever I speak to you, even outside of the podcast. So congratulations once again, and lots of luck.
Hey there, Maryum. I want to say a huge congratulations on achieving 100 episodes. What a milestone. I can say that you have a natural charisma and you have a huge heart. I'm honored to have had the opportunity to have been a guest recently as a mogul on your podcast. And I can say that the conversation just flows very naturally, like a chit chat between friends. But at the same time, you make sure that your listeners are getting the value that they're there for. I think you're an inspiration. You have started this, you have continued, you have not given up, and now here you are at 100 episodes. So huge congratulations, and can't wait for your next 100.
Welcome everyone to the Star Moguls 100th episode. I'm so happy to have all of you here, and you've traveled so far. I know the traffic was crazy today, so thank you so much. I know people here from Coventry and Birmingham and Milton Keynes, so thank you so much. Plymouth, so thank you so much. I've even got my mom. She never comes, and she doesn't even know what I do. I was like, yeah, podcasting. She goes, oh, interviews like Oprah. I was like, yeah. So she's joining me. And so we have two segments. We have one with Denise, where we're going to be opening, and we have a second conversation. I wanted to ask you that, you know, for all the women here, we missed International Women's Day. It's one of my favorite days. We always celebrate it. So it was Ramadan, so I couldn't do anything. But I wanted to introduce you to a very dear friend of mine, and I've known her for more than 16 years.
Absolutely.
And we've done Dorchester to Dubai. I was doing makeup for a wedding.
That's right.
And I met Denise, and we've just clicked ever since.
I was organising a wedding.
Yes, and I was doing the makeup for the bride.
Yeah.
And you just click with certain people. So in honor of International Women's Day, I wanted to bring on a woman who I admire, who I have been friends with, and someone who supported me through my career and my life. She's always been there for me. And it's so important to have women like that, especially like Denise. I think everybody needs a Denise in their life. But that's why I wanted to bring on Denise, because we missed International Women's Day. And I really wanted to honor all the women that support me and are part of our journey. And so Denise is, I would say, the Anna Wintour of events in London. She is amazing.
I think Anna Wintour was very disappointed to hear.
No, not at all.
Yes, she was.
Always glamorous, always loving. And so Denise is the founder of Opulent Events, and she's always done events, and she's always been very glamorous. But we're going to talk about her career, because I feel like I need to highlight this amazing person in my life. So, Denise, you've always done some really high-profile events.
Well, I have, but I started off doing rather dull ones, actually. The first events that I sort of fell into were trade shows, and that was a lifetime ago. And they were really deeply saddened events. You'd go to this awful building, and there'd be a load of men and then other guys standing around, and they'd be selling equipment, etc. And I felt completely out of place as a woman there. It was a very masculine environment, and it was sporting equipment and fishing tackle. And it was fishing was then a major sport, but women were also taking part. And if you were running a shop, the last place you would want to go to would be one of these places. So I said to my partner at the time, my working partner, we could really take this and go for 4-star hotels. We could really, really make this a special event and go around the country with it. And that's what we did. And we were the first team to do it. And it really took off. And it became a sort of a benchmark event for many, many other companies to take it up. I never completely enjoyed it because it wasn't a very glamorous profession, really. But nonetheless, I met wonderful people from all walks of life.
But you've done some really high profile
I
events.
have.
One of your favorites.
She only wants me to talk about
Yeah.
events, you see.
Because they're so amazing.
Life is not like that. You have ups and
Actually,
downs.
we were having a conversation a couple of days ago,
Yeah.
and I said, I'm loving doing the event and getting people together.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm totally, like my energy is high, and I haven't done an event for quite a while, especially in London. And I said, what's the best thing that you like about the event? And you said,
When it's finished. But what I should have said is when it's finished and everybody's enjoyed it, because that's the key to doing an event. It's happy faces. It's people that want to come back again. That's the key to it. And that's what makes me happy. But, you know, the lead up to it, it's jolly hard work. And it takes months of organization. And inevitably, you're going to have problems along the way.
I felt that moment actually this morning at 3:30 in the
you had to
morning. I
do
was
it.
like, do I have
Yeah.
everything?
You always
So yeah,
have to do it.
absolutely. Well, let's share some of the real highlights that you
Okay,
had.
I have been
Amazing.
very, very blessed. I've met some wonderful people, major celebrities, Judi Dench, Sir Michael Parkinson. And I know you wanted me to mention the royals. I have done events with the royal family. And funnily enough, one of the most memorable was with Prince Philip, because you're really not sure how to take him. You know, I had met him a couple of times, and I was at the Buckingham Palace garden party, and I'd been asked to invite him to an event for this charity that I was chairing, which was the Lady Taverns, which was the ladies' arm of the Lord's Taverns. And it was quite a difficult thing because you're introduced and then they kind of wander on. They ask you a couple of questions and they wander down the line. And so I said to him, sir, I would like to ask if you would like to come to one of our Lady Taverner events. And he said, Lady Taverners? Ladies at lunch? Why would I want to do that? Why would you want men there? And I said, well, sir, it's not just ladies at lunch. We raise a lot of money and we have a wonderful time there. And he said, but men don't want to come along. You won't want us there. And I said, sir, I assure you we do. You know, for your charm, your wit, and your wallets. And then I thought, my God, what have I said? You know, and he looked at me and there was that second where I thought, have I overstepped it? And then he smiled and he said, okay. And he spoke to his aide, and true to his word, we had a fabulous dinner at St. James's Palace. And obviously he was the main attraction. And he was utterly, utterly charming, great fun. Really, really, it was a super evening. So sometimes you just got to go for it, even when perhaps a little bit of your tummy is telling you not to. So I suppose that was a lovely one to have achieved for me. And I did a big event with President Clinton. Like him or love him, I think he was a jolly good president. And I tell you, he's the most charismatic and entertaining speaker I've ever come across.
He's charismatic.
Huge,
So charming.
charismatic, and he looks directly at you. You feel as if he is. We had a room of 1,100 people. It was at the Hilton. And I managed to get a sponsor with very, very deep pockets because it costs a lot of money to bring him over. The money doesn't go to him, it goes to his charities, but it costs a lot. And he flew in on the morning. It was 10 months in the making because you have to run everything by the CIA, everything. They're in your computer, they're everywhere. You see things moving on your computer. I mean, the security is incredible. And once we got past that, we had Sir David Frost, who actually interviewed him. And it was very, very good. He was wonderful. And with the sponsor, I met him for about 15 minutes before the event, which was really, again, rather a special thing. And we had a very private reception for just 64 of all the guests, 64 people. that paid rather a large sum of money to be in the room with him and have a photograph taken. And he spoke for an hour and 10 minutes, which is a long time for somebody to speak. And you could have heard a pin drop. He was incredible. It was the biggest fundraiser we've ever done. And I lost half a stone in weight actually organizing it. It was, you're happy when it's over. I really was, because it was the most difficult event to do.
So I think conversations really that can change someone's trajectory, like, you know, life-changing conversations. Is there someone that has inspired you throughout your journey and you know, during your lifetime?
Very much so. Again, a controversial figure, Margaret Thatcher. For me, I was privileged to meet her several times and throughout her career. And to me, she was the most awesome lady. I mean, they called her the Iron Maiden, didn't they? But she had a beautifully soft heart. And she was, to me, she managed to, she instilled this inspiration. You felt you could do anything. You could go out in the world and do anything. And she made you feel that. And I found her absolutely charming. And she had this stirring ability. So yes, I think for me, she would be the lady of choice. Absolutely.
Yeah. She was remarkable.
Remarkable, really, when you think, you know, a woman coming in and, you know, a fairly humble background. But yes, she was an incredible lady, and I admire her greatly. And just before she went into hiding, we had a lunch at the Dorchester for just 20 ladies, and it was in her honor. And she was clearly rather feeble then. So we'd seen this very powerful woman, and then to see her like that. And I was fortunately seated opposite her, and I asked her some political question of the time. And she was suddenly this great lady again. She was enthused, she was inspired, she was just incredible. So that's how I remember her. You know, somebody that made me feel I could go out and do anything. And my background's very simple background. So I did not have a fabulous, wealthy upbringing. But it's something that she instilled in me. And I've tried to instill in people that I meet, that genuinely, if you really want something, if you work hard, then you can do it. You can do it. And
so for the men, the women
for the men, we mustn't forget the men.
The men and the women in the audience, how do we support, or how does one support someone's growth?
I think it's just encouragement. You know, if you know somebody is struggling with something, I think we need to be there for each other. And I do feel that we're drawn to like-minded people. I mean, Maryum and I we're very similar in many ways.
Yes.
We're quite determined, but we're quite soft people as well. And for me, friends, you know, you have a lot of acquaintances in your life. You meet a lot of people, but true friends are people that you don't see very often, and you just get a feeling that maybe they're struggling and times are tough. That's not the time to send them a text or a WhatsApp. It's the time to phone them, I believe, and make that physical contact with them. And I think it's about supporting and trying to understand what people are going through, because we all have problems in our life, and just sometimes it helps if you can talk it through. And some people find it quite difficult to talk, and certainly by actually showing you care, for me, it works for me.
I've worked with Denise from Dorchester to Dubai, and I've done some amazing work with her. And the best thing I think, how I feel to support women is to, she's like my ambassador. And if I want to do something, she'll think about me before, and she'll suggest me, and she'll recommend me. And I think that's what it is. Without even you speaking, someone's already suggested, someone encouraged you. But really, I think that's what it is. She puts me forward in places, or she'll invite me to certain places where, you know, I feel privileged to.
But
And
if I wouldn't,
I do
I wouldn't
have-
invite you to somewhere if I didn't think you could cope with it, because
Yeah.
then you're in an uncomfortable situation. But I know that you might be out of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
but that you can go up that
Yeah.
level.
Yeah, absolutely. I've really enjoyed my company with Denise.
We do
honestly,
have fun.
We do. We have a giggle, definitely. So I just wanted to appreciate you and highlight
Yes,
you
you're so sweet.
as such a great role model and a mentor. And Denise is amazing. We're going to do a grand high chai because we've got a new society coming up. So we're going to do a grand high chai in the summer. She's amazing at events, obviously, but something special will be coming up, and I will do a mastermind with her as well. I'm going to do some
She wants to
work.
hear all the events, the
Do you know
naughty
what?
bits about the celebrities. That's what she wants.
I think the best thing is that I've been blessed with in life is to have such beautiful relationships. Everyone here has been handpicked and they're so supportive and they want to see you win. And I think that this room of women and men, they are so encouraging. They want you to win. And I remember Sophia, I sent her a message and I said, I have this podcast, the 100th, and she was, congratulations, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. And you want people like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, when she said that, I was like, that's the person that, you know, genuinely, within seconds, she replied to me and said, I wouldn't miss it for the world. And so I appreciate people like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People like that, they're very important in your life.
Yeah.
And you don't need a lot of them. You really just need one or two.
You just
that
need
you
a
can
Denise.
nurture. You know, it's really important to appreciate your friends, and it's very, when you have a busy life, it's very easy to overlook them. And I think it's just really important to keep in touch.
Can we give Denise a round of applause?
Thank you.
So our next guest, and of course, Denise is number 99, and the 100th episode will be with John Lee, who is going to be talking about personal branding, creativity, and AI. It's a subject that we all need to embrace. And some of us don't even embrace social media, but this is an expert, and he's a mentor. I've trained with him. I've known him since 2018. So he's a wonderful person. I'd like to introduce you to John Lee. Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Oh, wow. How you guys doing? You all right?
John has one of the most powerful presence in the digital space. Just if you think about Instagram, 2.2 million followers, which is incredible. I think overall, how many do you have total?
6 million.
6. Wow.
Yeah.
6 million. So absolutely, he knows his stuff when it comes to, so he's a social media expert. He's an author, a speaker, and I've known you since 2018.
Wow.
Yeah. I actually attended your event. And then we met in Dubai for social media training. And then recently at the 1 Billion Summit.
Yes. That was, well, it's interesting. Actually, how many of you are currently business owners? Are there any business owners in this room? Amazing. So you know, a big part of social media is not actually to be on social media. It's actually, and it's changed a lot. Actually.
Yes.
It's, if you look at what's happened in the last, I would say 12 to 18 months, one of the things I've realized is it's all about getting the attention now, right? So the more attention that we have, the more people know that we exist, the more awareness we get, and that's how we gain the traction. So I've seen a lot of it change because of AI as well. AI has now come to a point where it's funny because 2 days ago I launched a new account. I wanted to test. Actually, do people want to hear what I'm saying? Do they want to see what I'm saying?
Both.
Or do they actually just don't even care about that? So I tested something, and I'm going to show you some of the results. How many of you actually use social media? Like, you actually use it on a regular basis? Okay. What if I told you that you didn't have to create any content anymore? You didn't have to film anymore. You don't have to put your face on camera anymore. But you can still generate millions of views, generate thousands of leads, and create a profitable business. Would that be useful? Yes or no? Yeah. So I'm
like the sound of that.
I'll show some examples as we go through this as well. So yes.
So I wanted to start off by saying that your career actually started in film.
Yes.
And then you went to property.
Uh-huh.
And then social media and more or less AI now. But what was the time that you had that made that decision to kind of change kind of careers or change your direction?
So just so I'm not repeating myself, raise your hand if you've seen, raise your hand if you've never heard me speak before. Never heard me speak before. Raise your hand if you've seen some of my stuff on social media. Okay, a few. So my background was in TV and film. So I started as an animator, actually. So I love special effects, I love animation, and I love creating things.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because now in AI, the most powerful thing that you need is now creativity.
Yeah.
So we talk about this whole aspect of artificial intelligence, and then we have human intelligence.
Yes.
And now we're evolving to what we call the creative intelligence. So critical thinking is getting replaced by AI, but now the creative intelligence is coming in. And so I started as an animator. I worked on, a lot of big shows, a lot of big films. If I name some of the films, you probably have heard of them. But then I remember sitting there one day and I thought to myself, wait a minute, I'm getting paid £36,000. I'm working every single day. How many of you work in London, by the way, right? So it's quite stressful, isn't it? You get on the tube and it's like stressful and people are pushing past you and rude. And it's like, I heard enough of this.
Yeah.
I was like, and I read a book, and this book changed my life. It was called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Has anyone read that book? Robert Kiyosaki, incredible book. Talked about this concept of passive income. I'm like, what the hell is passive income? I'm like, what? You can actually make money without actually working for it. And so this led me along the path of entrepreneurship, real estate. So we invest in real estate. It's interesting because...
And you're a co-founder of Wealth Dragons.
That was one of my previous companies, yes. Yeah. But now we've sort of moved on from that as well. So here's the key to this, right? Understanding what actually the market wants. Right. Versus actually what we think they want. So when I show you this thing a little bit later, you're like, there's no way, John. That guy got more views than you, and he's not even real. Yes, he did.
Yes,
right.
We're going to talk about AI influencers actually after.
This is perfect timing.
Something that I wanted to ask you about. This is what I heard Gary Vee say. Yeah. That social media is dead, but it's more about interest media. But then recently you went to 1 Billion Summit, and I met you there in Dubai, and we still have value for followers, and that has a lot of weight. So would you say it's interest media or social media now? Which way are we following? So it's so confusing. Which way are we going?
So it's actually positioned media.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
Let me give an example. Nike, right? Nike is just a shoe company, right? But it's a media company selling shoes. Netflix is a media company selling subscriptions, right? Yes. So we all have to think of ourselves as a media company now, but in a way that positions. So before you used to put up things on social media and then sell stuff. That's how influencers, well, this is makeup, go and buy my eyeliner. So that's how it used to be. Yeah. Now, do you know what it's about? It's about actually how you're positioned in the market. So I just got 3 big speaking engagements. Okay. Right. So I just got.
And this one?
Well, my manager, this is my manager, Kirk, by the way.
Yeah.
Kirk. This is Kirk.
Thank you.
So there was a company in Sydney that wanted to, look for somebody who was an AI expert. Right. Right. So what did they do? They go on social media and they look for AI. And so if you type in anything AI, my content comes up. Absolutely. And every single one of my page.
And your name is so common, like John Lee. When I typed it in, I was like, okay, some singer came up. But when you put, I just put social and you came up. Right.
So now this is what we called AEO, which is answer engine optimization. Okay. That means, how many of you use, I'm going to, you mind if I get a little bit technical? Is that okay? How many of you use ChatGPT? Okay, good. So how many of you don't use any AI right now? Interesting. That's really interesting. So when I asked this question a while ago, Maryum, like all the hands would be down. Yes. Right. But now I asked the question, 90% of the room is up. So now behavior is changing. Right. Yes. So this is again an example of positioning now. Yes. So positioning is if I want to look for a podcast studio, right, in West London. Right. Right. I'm not going to go to Google and ask Google anymore. I'm going to go to ChatGPT and get the answer. That's why it's called answer engine optimization. So by positioning yourself on social, it creates the positioning. So let me go full circle now. So this company in Sydney, they say they want an AI expert. So they type in John Lee, but there are 4.2 billion search results, by the way, for the word John and Lee. I have the most common name in the world. Yeah. right?
Absolutely.
It's crazy. But the moment you put in Johnny AI, like you see all, like you go to Google, you type, I'm just plastered everywhere. All right. So that's what made the decision for them to go, maybe we should get this guy. So what happens? They go to my social media and they want to see congruency now. So is it congruent with what I'm talking about? Am I positioned that way? And the answer is yes. And so now, because of that one thing, I don't care if a post gets 1 like or 10 likes or 50 likes, because today we live in a world.
So, your aim is to just to put out content as much as volume.
Volume, because volume sticks, right? And it's relevant, right? Because here's the thing, if only 10 people see it, one of those 10 people that saw my post was the promoter.
Absolutely.
Right? And by the way, my keynote fee is £100,000 keynote fee, 90 minutes. So that's what they're paying me. Plus, Kurt's negotiated one first class flight and then 4 business class flights for my team to go there. Right? From one post on social.
Yes. Wow,
right?
it's powerful.
And so it doesn't matter if like no one's watching it. What matters is who's watching it.
Who's watching it.
Right?
Yes.
And so that's why these podcasts are so important. And the work that you're doing and the way you're empowering people to put themselves out there, it is so important.
I recently watched the masterclass of Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
And she says that, she's a billionaire. And she said, I use social media, and every single business owner has to use social media if they want to succeed in this modern day. So what is it that we as business owners are doing wrong? What can we rectify and correct that? What is probably the first thing that we need to correct, like regarding social media? What is it that we're doing wrong? Okay,
so it's interesting. So I had a session with one of my clients this morning, right? Here's the thing. You have to understand how the algorithms work. The algorithm is based on what you post. So let's say I make a post on, how many of you taken pictures of your food before and posted it? Okay, stop doing that. Because if you do that, you confuse the algorithm, right? Because imagine it. Okay, I'm going to do an example here. So let's say I make posts on pizzas.
Okay.
Right. And the person I want to attract is someone who has pizzas.
Okay.
Right. So if I start putting things like pizzas, steaks, burgers, chips, I put all this random stuff up, it doesn't know who to show it to.
Right.
Then it starts showing a little bit to people who have steak, people, some people who have like pizza, and then it gets confused. And that's why it doesn't go anywhere. So if you look at all my posts, in fact,
let's have a look at John's profile.
This is my page here. But if you look at
2.2 million.
Right. Well, actually, 2.2 million doesn't even make a difference anymore because it's now, I'll explain why in just a moment. But can you see all the posts? They kind of look the same. So when people come onto my page, I even wear the same clothes.
You've got the same style.
Yeah, same clothes. Because do you know sometimes when you go to a different country and you're like, I'm hungry, and you're not used to local food, and you're like, I just want a McDonald's.
Yeah.
Right? Because you know what you're going to get.
Right.
Right? Not saying it's great food, but, sometimes you're hungry. So now this is
So you set this expectation for everyone.
Right. Now, what you don't want to do is when people see one of your pieces of content, then they come to your page and it's like all random posts. You got my dog there. You got a picture of your kids. You're on holiday.
Yeah.
Like it confuses the algorithm. Right. So this is one, by the way, you should have 10 Instagram accounts.
10?
Just FYI, yeah. 10 Instagram accounts.
How many people have got 10 here?
Right. Good.
Oh, wow.
Right. She knows the game.
Yeah.
Right.
But how do we avoid that burnout if we've got 10 accounts?
Well, that's where AI comes in.
Right. Okay.
Right. So, for example.
So my father said something to me a very long time ago. He said to me, Bete, daughter, that if you're going to succeed in this world, you have to keep up with the trends. And if you don't, you're going to get left behind. And I think that's exactly the same with AI or anything that comes out. You have to keep up with the times because we will get left behind. So we have got to adapt. Everybody needs to adapt.
I'll show you how you don't get burnout. This is how you get AI involved in this. So I have a lot of AI employees. It sounds weird, but I'll give you an example. So let's see if hey, Nova, I'm just sat here in a podcast. I'm talking about why it's so important to have someone like you. Can you just explain to people what you do for me and who you are?
All right, so picture this. I'm basically your go-to sidekick for clarity and action. You've got questions, ideas, maybe some chaos, and I help you make sense of it all. I'm like your digital twin in the sense that I think like you, speak like you, and coach like you. but I'm always here, anytime, anywhere.
All right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to write the script. I want you to I want you to scour Instagram. I want you to tell me based on what's trending right now. Then I want you to tell me based on everything that's trending, put it into a script, put that script into my AI avatar, post it on social media, and I want you to see how many views and posts it gets. Then if people reply to the comment, I want you to read that comment and reply to it. Then once that's done, I want you to then create an ad and a landing page, create a guide to give away something for free based on all the questions people are asking. And then once it does well, create the ad and have that ad run at $1,000 a day and keep your cost per lead down at $5 per lead. And then drive them and create a product and then create a landing page with a Stripe link for people to enter the credit card details to monetize. That's it. So now my AI,
amazing.
So my AI will go and do all of that stuff
Right.
automatically because I've pre-programmed it.
Right.
So that's how you avoid burnout. But what I was going to show you is this. So this is my second account here. This is called my John Lee Success account, right? And I didn't start this so long ago, but look at this. All the posts kind of look the same. So when people come to my posts, they know what to expect.
You have a signature style.
Right, signature style.
Yes.
And here's the you want to know the crazy thing? Try and make, like when you go and film videos, oh, my makeup's got to be good and my hair's got to look nice, right? Now you need to make your videos look as worst as possible.
Is that to show authenticity?
No, because
Or
if it's
show
too
human?
perfect, people think you're an AI,
That's it.
right? Yeah, so
That's really good news, everybody.
yeah, so raw, bad contents with bad lighting, no makeup, messy hair converts better than polished ones.
So I'm a makeup artist, stylist. Just but this is even better because sometimes I don't feel like putting my makeup on or getting ready.
Right.
You know?
Right. This guy here, his name is
I've
Dave.
seen him, yes.
Yeah, he's not real.
He's not, no.
He's my avatar. Right? But if I show this page went up like 3 or 4 days ago. But
I've seen
But look how much reach it's getting. 10,000 views, 28,000 views. Look at this, 29,000, 243,000. Look at this one. This one's had 818,000 views, but this is the important part. So every time someone replies to it, David Chen replies, nice, check your DMs. But this is all AI, right? And anytime someone DMs, it's not a real person. So Nova would just create these avatars, post it, and now it generates thousands and thousands of views. And then it generates thousands of leads, and then it generates millions of dollars of revenue.
So when do we use AI avatars? Because Robbie is actually a real life influencer. And so how would a real influencer versus an AI influencer? What does that benefit? What is the message
I'm going to play you one of these videos, and you're going to see how boring this is, right? But just watch.
Open a bank account in your own name. I didn't know this until my dad stopped me the day I got my first paycheck. I'd done everything right, got paid, went straight to the bank, opened a savings account in my name, and deposited the whole thing. My dad looked at me and said, "You just put a target on your back."
Right?
to watch this?
Right? Right. But this has generated 800,000 views
Wow.
in the last couple of days. And I'll tell you why this is important. And you said to me, 2.2 million followers sounds impressive, but not anymore. And I'm actually really annoyed with the algorithms because I spent a long time building it.
Yeah.
Right. But nowadays, you don't need to have followers anymore. I'll show you one of my clients in just a moment. She has no followers, but generated this month 6 million views. But I'll show you why it's important. Because I'll go into the analytics so you can see this stuff. Every time you make a post, the algorithm will serve it to two types of people: followers and non-followers. Look at the percentage. 73% of people that saw this video don't even follow me. So that's what's happening is we're reaching outside of our following. And there's one way to do that by using the Edits app. If you post on Edits, you reach people outside of your followers on a Reels format.
As a business owner, what are the 5 main apps that you're using? Because you know what I've noticed is that you can have an app for everything. Like there's so much AI software out there. There's a lot. There's something that you can use for every single thing. It's expensive. What do you use on a daily basis, or what would you suggest for business owners to use that are practical and really worth it for content creation, maybe marketing, sales, general business owner usage? What do you use?
First of all, I want to get the mindset right on this. For example, we use hundreds of AI tools, right?
Wow.
And people go,
But are they free or are they
no,
paid?
they're paid. They're paid.
Wow.
Have you seen the stats of actually how many people are using AI? There are only 0.04% of the people in the entire planet of 8 billion people that are currently using AI. That's us in this room right now.
So we could be ahead of the game.
We are already ahead of the game. This is the opportunity right now, right? Think about it. Before we had the industrial age, then we had the information age.
Yes.
Right? Now we're living in the creator age.
Yes.
Right? And now we're all creators. We can create anything we want at a click of a button. If I want to, I can literally, you can tell me what app you want to create.
Yes.
I'll go and I'll say, Nova. Nova stands for Next Generation Optimized Virtual Assistant. And I say, Nova, I've got some clients in the room. They want to be able to build an app for X, Y, Z, build it for me. By the time we finish this podcast, it will be done.
That's fantastic. So we don't need graphic designers. We don't need web designers. We can design everything in minutes.
So here's what you actually need. The only one investment you need to be investing in is a CAO, Chief Agent Officer.
Okay.
So what is this person's role? They do three things. Number one is they orchestrate the entire process. So you tell me, hey, John, I want to get this outcome, right? I'll give an example. I had a law firm come to me and said, John, we're not allowed to directly market. So can you put some content out there talking about, if people have been injured in an accident or if they've taken out some PCP, can we talk about what's available to them?
Right.
And then I just created an AI avatar and then sent it to him and said, John, this looks real. I said, yeah. And if I post this, it's going to get millions of views. And then that drives people to a website where people can get advice. And then that then goes to the lawyers.
But trust is such an all-time low. How do we, because everybody wants that human touch, right? Everybody wants to trust a human, but there's so much content out there. How do we distinguish what is real and what's not? And then how will anybody do business? I mean, that's a worry.
So what you're doing here is beautiful. By the way, can we give him a big round of applause? Like, this is what people want now, right? So in the place where we're so connected, we are so disconnected.
Yes.
Right? And so what is that people want? They want connection. So now there's this, what I call in the age of AI, where everything's easy, everything's quick, everything's polished. What are we now striving for? So there's three things. If you have a pad, write this down. Three things. Number one is, first of all, connection.
Absolutely.
We all want connection. But connection's only driven through community, right? Community. And then also number three, through community, you drive collaboration. Those are the three C's.
Right.
Right? So, I fly around, you know how much I fly, right? So Dubai one day, then we're in Nashville, then we're in LA, and in New York, and Australia, and Singapore. I was supposed to be in Dubai actually now, but
I know, and that's how we, connected. It was like, oh, do you want to do a podcast in Dubai? I'm not actually in London. And this is how it all actually, and I was like, come on my 100th. I'm so honored, actually.
Oh, no. And by the way, 100, is that an incredible milestone? I think that deserves the consistency it takes to do that is amazing.
Yeah, I love it. I love to highlight people that are innovators, talking about creativity, and really kind of inspiring us. You really inspire me, and I've learned so much from you. John is brilliant. You will learn so much. He's so insightful, and I treat him as like a brother, as a mentor. Absolutely brilliant. And you know the trends before, and he has so much knowledge.
Well, you want to know the next trend?
Absolutely.
Okay, it's not AI. Okay, so the next wave is robotics. Okay, so you need to get in now. I said this now. So what we're in February, we're Friday, 27th March, right? 2026. So 2 years from now, you watch the humanoids walking around everywhere, right? They're already starting to infiltrate. Now, why does robotics matter? And what does that mean for you right now? First of all, we all need to be getting something called an AI pendant. An AI pendant is something you wear. So something like this I'm wearing right now. It's recording everything I'm saying. And this will feed directly into my AI, right? So then I can call myself and have a conversation with me. So, yeah, people say, oh, John, can you come to my company and do consulting? Yeah, well, I can't really. I'm a bit busy. But so now I can call myself. Oh, let's take away.
Hey there, I'm John Lee's AI. How can I help you today?
Hey, John Lee's AI. I'm running a podcast. How do I get millions of views on a podcast?
Love it. Two-part, organic scale, an engineered distribution. Here's the fast playbook I give my clients. One, nail the hook and packaging, outcome-driven titles, curiosity first.
Right? So now, so that's the first thing, Dee. Now, why is that important? Because what we're doing, we're building a brain, right? And this is going to seem really weird. How many have seen the show Westworld? Right. Okay, you should all go and watch Westworld tonight, right?
Is it a series?
It's a series, but it's
Okay.
basically about humans that get replaced by robots,
Oh, wow.
like in a real world.
It's not even integration, it's just replacement.
It's literally, well, think about it. Like, if you think of the human body, it's very inefficient. Like, if something happens to your arm, like, I can't just replace it. But if you think of consciousness, of what consciousness actually is, consciousness is what we perceive to be real, right? It's our experiences. Like, when I touch this table, is it real or is it not real? It feels real. But that's just a simulation of what's happening in my head. So when I understand this at a deep level, if AI is the way we think and what our brain is, then what is the next step? The next step is, of course, a body. Now, how many of you have seen the robots that can dance and can do kung fu, right? They're called entertainment robots, right? They can only do that one thing because they've been trained to do that one thing. So now we have a body that looks like a robot, a humanoid, and now we have a brain that thinks like us, okay? Now what's missing? Hollywood, right? Hollywood can make a mannequin of something look extremely real. So what happens when you combine all three together?
Are we going to go extinct?
How do we know someone in here is not actually a robot?
That's quite scary. I actually had to just pause and I thought,
Maryum, this is already happening. This is already happening. Like I advise a lot of companies. One of the companies I'm advising is Magnus AI. They show me the videos of what's happening because anything hardware is like super secretive. But when you think about it, like this is where we are. So when people say, I just got interviewed by Success Magazine, you know the question they ask me? John, is AI going to take over people's jobs?
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I mean, yes and no. And what I mean by that is when whatever jobs AI replaces, it will produce many more. For example, we never had a prompt engineering role before, did we?
no.
We never had a prompt architect role, did we? We never had a CAO before, Chief Agent Officer before. And do you know why robotics is going to be so powerful? Because, like, by the way, just so you guys know, 1,000 days from now, anything on the other side of a laptop will be replaced by AI. So then what do we do?
Is it how fast the turnover is?
It's like, you look at the curve, remember, it's like it's going flat and then it goes like that.
Wow.
Exponential growth.
Because I've noticed as well, it's getting quicker and quicker, isn't it?
You know what the funny thing is? Like, so our company, we do a lot of like consulting. We go into companies, we install AI into the companies. And before to train up, we have a team of 200 AI executors, right? So we put them all through certification. And we used to be a 12-week certification.
Right.
By the time we got to week 5, week 1's outdated.
Had to renew the information.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes.
So when we think about where the roles are going for humans, is like training, dexterity. So everyone's going to be wearing a GoPro. They've already got the glasses with the cameras in there.
I've seen the glasses.
Body cams. Have you noticed body cams are coming out now? No. So you put a body cam on your camera. Have you seen the security people that walk around the camera?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That's
yes,
body
yes,
cam.
Yes.
You got that, and then you got dexterity gloves. So have you ever seen the show Minority Report, where he's got those gloves?
Right.
Those
yes.
basically is what control the robots. So first of all, we have to remote control the robots so it learns that thing, then it can be remote.
Is there any danger of going into this realm? I mean, I can see for my own self that when I'm using even ChatGPT, I start to not use my brain as much. And I see all this content which is so boring. It's the same old, same old. You can detect it straight away.
Right.
It's not authentic. And my brain, if I see something even on LinkedIn, I'm like looking and I'm like, okay, this is boring. I'm like, it's just it's huge. You know, it's like a paragraph. It's not even a paragraph. It's like a whole page. But what should we be aware of? Of course, I actually love AI. You know, I think it's amazing. It can do amazing things. But what should we watch out for? What should we be careful of?
Okay, well, first of all, before we get into that, there's 5 things you all need to understand. Okay, number 1, make sure that, but if you know these 5 things, you know more than 95% of people on the planet. First one is learning how to communicate with AI. A lot of people just chat to AI.
Yeah.
But what we should be doing is, you heard this concept of prompt engineering, right?
Yes.
So we need to do pragmatic prompts, right? I'll give an example. When you go home tonight, you're going to go to your ChatGPT and then you're going to insert this prompt. Based on everything I've told you and spoken to you over the last 365 days, I want you to analyze my subtext and what I'm really not saying. Because when you're able to detect what you're really not saying, your underlying subtext, then it's going to reveal the real you, right? Tell me all my blind spots. Tell me the recurrent issues and themes that keep coming up that's stopping me from propelling to where I want to get to. Because you know where I want to get to. I want you to paint on the path. I don't want you to agree with me. I want you to really coach me through this. So that's a pragmatic. And then you ask it to ask you questions, right? And then you're going to add on the end of that, you're going to say, by the way, before you do this, ask me 5 questions so you're extremely clear at a 99% rate that you can deliver on this task. And then it's going to ask you the questions. And it's going to say things like, do you really want me to be truthful? Right? And it's going to say stuff like that. And it's going to say, I'm telling you, it's going to be like, this person's known you for your entire life. And they know all your inner secrets, which is a good and a bad thing. So first thing is learning how to communicate with it. Second thing is anything that is a task can be replaced. For example, I don't read or check or write emails anymore. Right? My AI does it. Every time I set a task, 9 o'clock, read my emails, summarize it, write replies to everybody, send it to my executive assistant, Perline, and make sure it's right before you send it. Bang, done.
I love that.
Right? So I got so many unread emails,
Yeah,
when people send me
absolutely.
messages. So any task that's ripe, that's repetitive, how many of you heard of Claude, by the way? Okay, here's what you want to do. This is
A lot of people are moving from chat to Claude. Please discuss that
That's
as well.
a political
Yeah.
thing. We won't go there. We won't go there.
All right, we won't go there.
But so Claude has something called Claude Record, right? It's an extension. So when you go on your laptop every single morning, you click record and do what you need to do, and then click stop, and then that will be able to repeat the process for you again without you having to do it. So the 5 levels are we're moving now from LLMs, large language models,
Yes.
to agents that perform a task like
Yeah.
that. And now currently at this point of time, we're now moving into agentic.
Yes.
Agentic means that I can sit here, have a conversation with you. My AI employees are doing all the work for me. Sounds
Is there
crazy.
something else above agentic? Is there
Yes.
levels?
AGI,
Okay.
artificial general intelligence, which is basically AI knowing more than anyone human on the planet. And there's one level up from that as well.
Okay.
Super intelligence.
Wow.
And that's game over.
Okay. Do you not think we'll become like a dumb society when we have so much? And no one is going to really think.
Well, here's the contrary. We do have to think.
Yeah. To
Right?
actually insert the commands or the prompts.
Well, that's the thing. So here's one tip I'm going to give all of you, right? Because here's the thing. AI is coming and it's coming to stay, and it's coming at a rate where it's
Absolutely. You
unprecedented.
can't ignore it.
Can't ignore it.
No.
So we have to embrace it, right? AI doesn't replace you. It 10x's you. It accelerates you. And actually, I'll go so far as to say that the way we have been, go to school, get a job, we go to work, we make decisive executive decisions, and then we go and do the work. The work's the easy part. It's actually much harder now today because we're stuck in that executive mode 24/7. We have no lenience. We have no off the break, right? We're now getting to a point where we're constant. That's why you feel more tired, right? Like those of you that use AI on a regular basis, mentally, you're feeling more tired because we're from that executive part of our brain all the time. So actually, it's the opposite. We have to think harder. We have to think stronger.
Nice. Okay.
We have to think 10, 20, 30 steps ahead, right? But we need to know what we want. And unfortunately, most people don't know what they want.
Yes, I think that's the thing. So let's talk about making money from AI.
Okay.
Right? As much as all of this is great, what can we do to make money from AI?
Okay.
Or help our businesses?
So maybe I can do an example with people here.
Absolutely.
Okay. Can you just shout out what businesses you guys are now? Give you an example. What business are you in? Live music, bands. So your business means you need to find the bands. The bands come to you. So right, so the bands come to you. You act as their agent, and then you place them at the venue. Okay. So they rent your venue, right? So first thing you want to do is give it your ICP, ideal customer profile. So if my team was working with you, they say, okay, sorry, what's your name? Naseem. So, hi Naseem. So we'd sit down, we'd interview you over like an hour, talking about your entire ICP. Once we've built that persona, we'll put that persona into an AI. So it acts as you, looking for you. Then what we say, then I say, tell me the last 5 clients you got. So all these 5 clients come in, that data goes in as well, right? So now we know who they are. Okay, age, who they are, what they do, how long they've been in there, social media. Then we give it agentic prompts. So based on this ideal customer profile, I want you to use, so there's a AI called Appy, and what Appy does is scours the internet and scrapes stuff off the internet. All right. So let me give you a good example of this. So this is how Naseem would use this.
Right.
I was on a plane to Nashville, and I saw that there was an event coming up called Agent Conference, right? And I thought, wow, that's good. I should be speaking at that. I speak to my manager. It's like, hey, have I been put forward to this yet? Because there's so many events.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're on a flight. So I'm like, so I say to Nova, I copy and paste the URL into Nova, and I say, Nova, I want you to analyze this website and all the speakers, research all the topics they're talking about when it comes to the AI agent conference, and tell me what's missing based on what I teach and based on all the podcasts that I've ever done and the keynotes that I've done. And then I want you to build a proposal for this person, write an email, and then scour the internet, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, find me their email address and send the email to them. By the time I landed in Nashville, they already replied.
That is amazing.
Right?
That is amazing.
So that would be a good example. It's just not with speaking engagements. Yours would be with singing engagements and performance engagements. So there's so many different ways that we can actually enforce AI, but we have to think at not the critical thinking level. We don't want to be there actually. That's such a waste of time now because we had to learn something before and then we had to do the thing, didn't we?
Yes.
Right? But AI does it for us now. So we don't have to do it anymore. So we don't need that critical thinking. It's like, I'll give you an example. How many of you can remember more than 10 telephone numbers? Show of hands. You're good. You're very good. Right? But 20 years ago, how many of you could remember at least 10 telephone numbers?
Yes.
You see? But why don't we? Because we have one of these. We won't need critical thinking skills now. But so our thinking evolves. It actually evolves to the next level. It evolves to creative intelligence.
Creative intelligence. I love that. I love that. What have you learned about yourself in this whole journey of business and AI and social media? What have you learned about yourself?
Oh, that's a good one. Here's a good one. It's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
Right? I always want to get things perfect, make sure the team knows everything. So the thing about AI, because it's speed, right? And there's a rule, speed loves money.
Yeah.
Out of all the people, my millionaire friends, my billionaire friends, the difference between millionaires and billionaires is the speed of execution, right? So we never fail anymore, right? We just learn and we get feedback. We know what not to do. And so when we understand that, oh my God, if I do this thing fast and it fails, that's okay. So we call it a rate of iteration. The rate of iteration needs to be so fast that you can make a decision today and tomorrow will be different. That's how fast it changes. And this is actually really frustrating for our teams because our teams think we're changing our minds all the time. How many CEOs in the room? Your CEOs, right? So you're like, why do I keep changing? You know, I'm not changing my mind.
Yeah.
I'm iterating based on the process of what's happened.
Wow.
So that's what I've learned. Second thing is you have to now learn how to learn. That sounds crazy. But when we left university and college, we stopped learning. So we need to learn how to learn, right? And one of the best ways to learn is to teach. One of the best ways to learn is to absorb and be immersed in it. There's this rule that I follow called the 30-30. Try this. All you need to do, pick one skill set. You want to learn a language, learn AI, learn social media, whatever it is you want to do. 30 minutes, Maryum, for 30 days, you will become an expert.
Wow.
30 minutes for 30 days, but it has to be scheduled in. And then you will know more than most people.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm actually starting a new community called High Chai Society, and the chai actually doesn't stand for the tea, it's for chai AI.
Right.
And I want to actually have much more conversations about AI and really embracing that. And because we don't have conversations, we have to force these conversations because we don't want to get left behind. I don't want to get behind. So I want everybody to be the trendsetters, the innovators, and do amazing work. And they're all amazing people. So,
I mean, you've got 100 podcasts, right?
Yeah.
You know what you could do? Actually, let me show you this. So what you want to do, if you want to make that massive impact, use this AI here called Gamma, right? Then what you want to do is use 11 Labs to feed all of your content in, or you can even use things like Notebook LM, right? So if I go to your YouTube channel, your stuff's online.
Yes, it is.
It's called Style Mogul.
Yes, or Maryum Sharif. It's Maryum Sharif.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maryum.
I just hosted Lisa, actually. Lisa Hugo.
What's Lisa? Oh,
Yeah.
So Lisa,
No. If you put Maryum Sharif.
you type
Yeah.
your podcast in there. You type your podcast in there. And then, by the way, you can all do this. It's so powerful. This is going to save you hours and hours and hours and hours of content. All right. Okay. Is that one? Okay.
Here we are.
So,
There I am. Yeah.
all right. So we'll take this one and we'll just take one of your videos. So let's just take, which one? This one here?
Yeah, we just
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Right. So we'll grab that. And now what we're going to do, we're going to copy this, go to Notebook LM. Okay. This is really powerful. Like when you do this, like, cause you asked me, how do you monetize?
Yeah.
So one of the best ways to monetize is to repurpose. That's exactly what Apple does. How many of you have got the new iPhone? Right, it's exactly the same as the last one.
Yeah.
And the one before that. And the one before that. And the one before that, right? She's got a little bit of a better camera, right? So the key is repurposing. So basically, when you go over here, go to YouTube, click YouTube websites, and then just paste the channel in there. I'm going to insert it, and now it's going to find your podcast now, right? Then I'm going to click on, first thing I want is I want a audio overview. Okay, so I'll generate that. I also want to create a video overview. I'll generate that. I also want to do infographics. I'll generate that. I also want a slide deck for my slides now. I'll generate that. So once I've got that, I'll let that run in the background and create all this content. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Gamma, okay, paste, and that podcast was about how to learn how to speak or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Speak so people listen.
All right, you see that? Speak so people listen. Okay, generate. By the way, little tip, download an app called Whisper Flow. And I don't type anymore either.
That's voice active. Yeah, just voice. I like that, yeah.
It's really good. It'll save you about 2 hours a day. So you never have to type anymore. You just talk to it and it types for you. And you're like, well, John, doesn't Apple already have a dictation tool? It does, but it's nowhere near as good. So now I just ask it to just do all the typing and create this reporting thing for me, right? So it's got all of these things, right? So we're creating a little report, okay? So the first thing is all of you want to create a report based on your products or services, create a social media post on it, and then give it away to people. Thousands of people will download it, okay? And then that's how you get your phone calls, and that's how you engage people in your services. Like if I just got you 1,000 more new clients today, how many of you would find that very useful? Right?
Yeah.
Just do this. Just do this. That's what you got to do. Right? So I went to Gamma. I got a prompt from Maryum.
What is actually Gamma? If you could explain, what is, because every tool has a certain, the video, they're for research. What is this for?
So this one is
Gamma
one is for creating what we call a lead magnet.
Okay.
Right? So you asked me, how do you monetize? You need to use AI to find your clients, find what problem they have, use a solution creating AI, and then sell it back to them. I'll give an example. There was these two kids, like 18, 19 years old. Yeah. They had an idea for an app. So they created this app called Cal AI. Do you know what it does? You take a picture of your food and it tells you how many calories in it. Right? It does 30 million a year. These guys are 19 years old, just so you know. 30 million a year. Guess who just acquired the app? MyFitnessPal.
Oh, wow. Because I was going to say, it's very similar,
right?
Isn't it? Very
but
similar. But
MyFitnessPal, you have to enter the details.
Yeah. So this one's just picture and...
Just take a picture.
Wow, I like that.
So that's how you... So there's different AIs. By the way, you can use something like Base 44.
Yes, I think Base 44 is
one of the best.
Yes.
Lovable.dev is great.
Yeah, Lovable, very good.
Yeah. Rocket.new is amazing as well. So we got all that stuff. But this is pretty much what we do it. So now we've got this guide. and now we can just give it away for free, or we can sell it.
Yeah.
So there's actually a, I'll show you this. You're going to laugh at this. There's a monk called Yang Mun.
Real or not?
Not real.
Okay.
Not real. So this is Yang Mun. Yang Mun has 2.5 million followers. All he does is grabs this, okay, creates this report using AI. People watch his video. His videos get like, 87,000 views, 700,000 views, 180,000 views, 169,000, 141. This guy gets millions and millions and millions of views. Then he's got this little URL here that says you can now buy his ebook. So you click on buy your ebook, all right? And then I think he sells the ebook for like $10 or $20, right? So you come over here, sells it for $23, all right? And he has over 7,000 people who have bought this now.
Wow.
It's not real. I'll show you. Look, it's just looks like a.
She's so upset.
Right? Look,
All that hard work.
Look. So you asked me what I learned. I learned that it's actually your message and authenticity with intention is what penetrates. So when you create it, you have to put feeling into it.
Yes.
If you, this water that you have here, right? How many of you have heard of the Dr. Emoto experiment? They pour the water into a glass and they say negative things to it. Then they pour into another glass and say positive things.
Yes.
They freeze it. And then when they look into the particles, everything that's negative is all cracked. The positive ones is all beautiful.
Yes.
But when's the last time we infuse our video with our intention? So when we infuse with intention, then it will attract from the other side.
Absolutely. I think there's so many business owners that just want to put out the content, but they don't really actually design it with the heart. I think also it has to be passion, it has to be energy, intention, definitely.
You've got to put your
And
intention.
it doesn't work otherwise. You're absolutely, there has to be the heart. The heart has to be expressed somehow. Yeah, because the first thing is emotion, isn't it? That's what we feel when we look at something on social media.
Well, the law of attraction is all about energy, right? So energy is frequency. My good friend Jim Quick says, whatever we do frequently increases our frequency. And I couldn't understand when he said that, but what we mean is that if we really want something in life, we must do the things every single day to get the things in life. That, I always say this, that the harder we work, the luckier we become. Opportunities start growing. When we start focusing, we start seeing, and our opportunities flow to us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. But what is your future plans? Where do you see AI? I know it's growing so fast. Can you predict something in a year's time? Where do you see the future? What else do you predict?
What do I think the future of AI is?
Yes.
So, okay, how technical do you want me to get?
Yeah, we can get technical. We've got a
Okay,
good audience.
we're all going to move to the level of tokenomics, right? Do you know what tokenomics is? Okay, let me, what's the easiest way to do? Okay, American Express. How many of you have an American Express card? Okay, so when you buy things American Express, you get points, right? So points, they have all, if you book a hotel, or now Starbucks is a good example of this. You go to Starbucks now, they don't want you to pay in cash anymore. You know why? Because they want your tokenomics, right? So when you swipe, you get a point. And the more points that you build, the more you can redeem it for things.
Okay.
Right? So let's say this water here, okay? If we have this water and I buy this water and I buy it for, let's say, £5, all I get is the £5 and you get the water. But that's all you get. You don't get anything else in return. Whereas if I'm with American Express or British Airways and I buy something, I also get my seat in the plane, but I can also redeem another seat in the plane. That's moving. Think of tokenomics as point systems. Okay. Now, let me ask you a question. What does all AI run off?
What does all AI run?
AI run off. It runs off tokens. It burns tokens. So those of you who use ChatGPT, you use it so much, you say you run out of credits. How many of you have experienced that, right? That is token usage. So for example, for me to generate a David Chen video, it burns 43 tokens.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So now picture this. I want you to think forward. You're like, wow, John's got this great system for getting massive exposure on social media. So I could take any business in this room, I could run their business through my AI and output for them. So they're generating leads, they're making money, but it's burning my token.
Right. Okay.
But I want them to use a token because, like a share price, when a share price is at 1 cent, and when more people buy that share, the share price increases.
Right.
When people sell, the share price drops.
Right.
So if everyone's reliant on my token and using my AI, what's going to happen to token price?
It's a good value.
Correct. Right? That's the future. Because if AI is doing everything and we don't get paid for our jobs anymore, then what is the use of humans? Our job is to create the AI that produces the output where we collect the tokens and we own that space.
So, you said something about that we're going to become media places or media stations. And I believe that as well, because with podcasting, I talk about Podflix. So my whole system of doing podcasting is to create series like Podflix, like on Netflix. So you binge on podcasts rather than just doing from 1 to 100. This time it's intentional. You find the sponsors, you find people who are for that specific audience. How do we marry the media house with points? Because that's quite interesting. Because if we have a media house, if we're media companies now, we could kind of incorporate.
You are going to love this one. You guys ready? I'm going to go next level. Okay. What is the most precious thing that we have now? Like for humans, what is our most precious thing that we have? Time. But we don't think of it like that. We think money is.
Yeah.
Money, if you make money, lose money, you can always make it.
We can always make it, exactly.
Time you can't, right? So if time is our most precious asset, and we understand that, okay, guess what's going to happen now? When you think about how the world is changing, right? I mean, if you think about how much time you're putting into stuff, it takes time to build something, but once you've built it, you can execute it.
Absolutely.
Right? So when we think about how AI is going to move and what that next level is, think about how it replaces your time, but also like I can take your brain now, right? You then become the podcaster. Now I'm watching your content now. Okay. So when I consume my time to watch your podcast, is it free or do I have to pay?
Yeah, you're paying with time.
I'm paying with time, right? That's how all big media, now you talk about media. How does Facebook make their money? How does Instagram make the money? They make it by attention.
Yeah.
So we're now evolving to the attention economy now, right? So that means if I'm watching your podcast, actually for every second I consume, I should be getting credits as your audience, right? So if you've got 50, 60 people in this room now watching your podcast,
yes,
that is now becoming your tokens going, just racking up. But we are paying with time, and in return, I'm getting paid credits. And how do you get paid? Because when the greater good, when everybody's watching now, what happens to your token price?
Value goes up.
There you go. That's where we're going, right? That's what we call watch to earn. Watch to earn.
So we're like a little loan, floating on the stock exchange.
Well, it'll be what we call a DEX, decentralized exchange. Right. Because now no one will have £1. Do you know if you go to the bank right now, actually, I have a new book coming out called Money Unlocked. This is coming out pretty soon. I just got signed by Hay House and Penguin. So,
excellent.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
It took a while took 20 years to get that.
This is your second book because I have the first one.
Yeah, well, this is my first solo book.
Okay, right.
First solo book.
Yes.
But one of the things I talk about in here is how do you make it? How do you keep it? How do you multiply it? Right? So when we think about all the things that we want to do, right? Like if I ask all of you right now, what is the main purpose of you doing what you want to do? We have to understand and work backwards and reverse engineer how we get there.
Right.
Yeah. So a lot of the times when I see people doing something, it's not that they're doing it for that one thing. They think it's money, but it's not. It's actually something else underneath.
Yes.
So if I'm watching a podcast right now, okay, and everyone's watching a podcast, what if we can become shareholders in your podcast?
I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what we called phantom equity. We now become, because ultimately they are why you exist.
Yes, of course.
Right? Like my community.
Yes.
That's why community is so important. So if you have live community like this is worth 10 times more than what an online community is worth because it's real people.
Yes.
It's funny. I was in Nashville. I was having breakfast, and one more something says, "Are you John Lee?" I said, "I am." "Oh my God, you're a real person. You're a real. I didn't think you were real." Right? Because obviously I put out a lot of content. I'll just show you one thing that we created. So this is my mum. She's retired now. And I decided to clone my mum and then put her into AI. You know, she's like a bit bored now. She plays golf. I said, "Mum, let's do some AI together." So what we can do with AI now, we can becoming a creator. So watch this.
You wanted to see me, ma'am.
Do you know why you're here, 008?
I can only assume it's about London.
You're darn right it's on what you pulled there. I should strip you of your 00 status.
Ma'am, relax. I got it. It comes out on the 28th of April.
So we use
I love this ad.
we use it to promote the book.
I love it.
But do you know how much it would have cost to produce it? Because I'm from the TV and video industry.
Absolutely.
That would have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to produce those shots. But in one night, I can just tell AI to make me a movie and put myself in it.
I love that.
To promote the products and services. So that's another way you monetize as well.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your book. When is it out?
We've pushed it back 2 weeks. So it'd be like, because I want to launch it near my birthday.
Oh,
So
nice.
Birthday's in May. So it's going to come out like mid-May.
Okay.
So if you want to grab a copy, it's on Amazon.
Absolutely.
It's Money Unlocked.
How can you help all of us? Is there something that you can do for all of us? What's the final note? How would you help? One parting note to everybody here.
You know, a big part of what I do, I always say, like, I want to become a billionaire, right? And not the way you think. Not like having lots of money in cash and like and my good friend Gio talks about this. He said, "John, the true definition of a millionaire and a billionaire is not how much money you have in the bank, but how many lives you have touched."
Absolutely.
And why I do things like this and fly around the world, because I love stories. I love people who have an idea. They've come, like my client, Lisa Chow. She came to me and said, "John, I don't know what to do." I said, "What do you love to do?" She loves to help people. And she only has 2,000 followers. But look at this. Her content, she's got 6 million views. This one got 45,000 views, 23,000 views. Each one of her posts, 10,000. Right? How is she reaching people outside of her audience? Right? Because I showed her the thing that I showed you, download edits and post an edits and get reach outside. And now she's getting 6 million views in the last 30 days.
That's amazing.
Right? So I love helping people. What I realize is people have a very powerful message.
Yes.
But they don't know how to get the message out to the world. Right? It's not about making money. It's about your mission.
Yeah, impact.
So my mission is to impact a billion people around the world to just take the thought that they have in their head and then do something with it and make more impact. So I was speaking to Kirk on the way down, actually. And, for me, you've been following my work for a little while now. We got a chance to connect in Dubai.
Exactly.
In the Billion Summit in the Museum of the Future.
That's
How
so
cool
beautiful.
is that? It was amazing.
Yeah.
And so, when you asked me to come here, I was like, oh, God, I'm so busy, I got to do this. But it was your message that really stood out. And you said to me, I want to empower women. I want to take them to the next level. So one of my other clients' name is Marilla Sula. She has the Global Woman magazine. And she said exactly the same thing to me. She said, "John, I want to empower women. I want to take them to the next level. Help me do this." So here's what I'm going to do. How many of you are from London, by the way? I'm from London. Okay. And who would like to actually love to learn more on AI and social media and growing a brand and business? All right, here's what I'll do. We are running a mastermind in London, 1st and 2nd of May in London, right? It'll probably it'll be in like around this area, like Kensington, Knightsbridge, around that area. Our tickets are $3,000 a ticket, right? But when I started in this whole industry, I had one of my uncle, because I didn't have the money to do it. And the what I say to people, I don't want money to stop people from achieving success and greatness. So what I like to do for your community, and this is really to really celebrate your 100th episode, because I know how hard it is to keep a consistency of 100 podcasts.
Do you know why I started? I'm just going to mention that. Yes. I started because I was living in Dubai and I went with my English glasses and I thought, these women are suppressed, and it's a really horrible thing to say, but I'm saying it. I was like, oh my God, women in Dubai, I was living there, and I was like, they're sassy, they're sexy, they're innovative, they're amazing businesswomen as well. And so I started the podcast to change the perception of women living in the Middle East, the Asian and Arab women. And I wanted to teach the world, like, look, they're amazing, and highlight those amazing women that are from business and creativity and science. That's how I started. And so, and I have allies like you and mentors who celebrate women. You know, that's what you need, ambassadors, that, because women are great. I love women communities, but men equally play that role as well. So I've got amazing men who are like brothers to me, who I've always learned from, because my father passed away quite early. And whenever I think about learning from someone, I always think, okay, it's like my brother's teaching me. So all the trainers and people like you have really influenced me amazingly. So yeah, that's the mission that I was on.
Here's the deal.
What are you going to do for us?
What I'm going to do is I put some slides together. So this is what our masterminds look like. And we run these masterminds, we run them as incubators. I've invested in 25 companies now, and they, like 4 of them are now unicorns.
Yes.
So I want to put incredible people together, because when incredible people come together, we create incredible things. So this is what our mastermind looks like. It's very small, it's very intimate. One of the things we talk about is like, how do we get more leads, create more passive income, investing. AI is a big focus on this as well. Personal branding, and it's also community building. Now again, our tickets are $3,000. That's what we sell it for.
Yes.
But what I want to do for your community, and to celebrate the 100th episode, everyone who's turned up to this to support you in the 100th episode,
yes,
you're going to get to come for free. Give her a round of applause.
That is amazing.
So this is a gift. So the people that didn't show up, they don't get this.
No.
They didn't show up, they don't get this. And by the way, people have paid $3,000 for this.
Yeah.
Now I have a few conditions.
I did the same for social media.
Conditions. First condition is I'm going to teach you all how to really do this. And then you're going to support Maryum on her journey to impacting more people. That's number 1. Number 2, buy a copy of this book, read it. Once you have changed your life, you're going to pass it on to somebody else, just like my friend Darren gave me the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. That book changed my life. I put 20 years of my knowledge into this book so I could impact more people. So you're going to buy the book, read it, pass it to your best friend, impact their life. Number 3, I never like giving stuff away for free. I'll tell you why. Because in the past, I used to run massive events. My friend ran a massive event in South Africa, 3,500 people. I fly to South Africa, 13-hour flight. I show up and say, Brian, where is everybody? They're right at the front. I said, but where's everybody else?
Yes.
Oh, they didn't show up. I said, did not pay to come here?
Yes.
Oh, no. We give them a free ticket.
Yeah,
they called, they said they couldn't make it. So obviously, to hire a venue in Kensington, Knightsbridge is not cheap, right? So what I'll do is I'll give you a complimentary ticket. You get a free ticket, but you have to cover your own food, hot food, teas and coffee, which is around $100 a day, right? So you cover that, and then we're good. Deal?
Amazing. Round of applause, please.
Thank you. So now you need the code. So take out your phone, scan that QR code, and put that QR code there, right? And then in the coupon code, you need to put as in with logo, right? So when you go there, it'll say $3,000. You need to, and you must click the apply button. Then it goes to $200. Then you put your details in, first name, last name, email address, put your credit card details in, click purchase, and then it will go through at that. Okay, this
Excellent.
is I want to do this to congratulate you on your 100th.
Thank you so much. Thank
having
you.
me on there as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm absolutely honored to have you as my 100th episode. Honestly, couldn't have chosen anybody better to talk about the future. I'm very future forward, so you're the perfect person. And I absolutely admire you. Are there any questions additional to what we've talked about that you'd like to ask?
Yes. So do you need more clients? Like you need more people to come to you? Or you teach it? Okay. So it's more like holistic health type of thing. Okay. So number one is so I'll give you an example of one of my other clients. Just copy what she did. Erin actually came to the mastermind was Erin in Toronto? Toronto. So this is Erin over here, but she has something called puppy yoga, right? And then she asked me, John, the exact question, how do we monetize? I said, first of all, you need to tell people what you do, right? So the first thing you want to do is, when you're doing the ear acupuncture, when you're doing that stuff, you need to explain to people what and why. So when she posted the video, she's got, look how many views she's got. 60 million views, 34 million views,
Wow.
60. She has 500 million views on her puppy yoga. All her classes are sold out. All of them. Full for the next 6 months. So all you have to do is talk about what you do. There are 3 types of content that we do. Content creation, documentation, or demonstration. In your case, it would be demonstration.
Yes.
Just by doing that alone, you're going to get so many phone calls. You're going to get, in fact, I'll show you another one that's probably closer to you. Dr. Cody. Dr. Cody is another one who came to me and said, John, how do I ask me the same question? I said, you need to record what you're doing. All right? He's now known as Dr. Crack. Why? He does stuff like this. Just cracks people. Right? He just films, look. Right? That's all he does. He's got 273,000 followers. People fly around the world to get cracked by him.
Yes.
How's it getting out there? Exactly the way I did with David Chen. Create the video, research the video, post it on edits. And if you're going to come to the mastermind, because obviously this is quite a detailed thing.
Yeah.
I need to show you what
We'll
buttons
leave
to
that
press.
for the actual event itself. So
Yeah.
please do all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So edits is owned by Meta. Yeah. Because you get extra reach for free. Have you noticed when you post in edits versus a normal post, you always get more reach because it prioritizes it, right? And then if you use trial reel format, trial reels, this is a big one. Trial reels don't show to your followers, they show to Instagram's followers. So if you've got no followers like Lisa, she's only got 2,000 followers, but she's getting 6 million views because she's using trial reel format. And that's reaching people who are outside of her audience, and now brings new people to her. So you want to start implementing that as well. Yep. No, but oh yeah, there we go. Let's see what it came up with. All right, so let's listen to the podcast.
Just out of sight, right behind the heavy velvet curtain. Or maybe you're just sitting at your desk, staring at the glowing green dot of your webcam.
Oh yeah, just watching the seconds tick down.
Exactly. Waiting for the meeting host to let everyone in from the waiting room. And your heart is hammering against your ribs so hard you can actually hear it in your ears.
Your palms are slick. Your throat suddenly feels like someone coated it in sandpaper overnight. And your breathing has become incredibly shallow.
Right. Almost like you can't get enough air into your lungs no matter how hard you try.
It's awful.
It is that universal moment of pure, unadulterated terror right before you have to speak in public. We have all been there.
We really have.
But what if you could intercept that physical panic? What if you could take that rushing...
Sounds like a real podcast, doesn't it? Right? So he's taking that podcast.
Does, yeah.
I can now take that podcast on there, go to something like Restream or one of these podcasts, and then just click submit, and it'll go into Spotify, it will go into iTunes, it will go into Breaker, all the podcasts. So now you can all have a podcast in one click from one video, right? And then what it can do, check this out. Now it's giving me all the slides. So now if I want to create slides on this, I can present the slides now. So now you could, so you asked me how do you monetize?
Yes.
Basically find people like Maryum or all the big influencers online, do this for them, and then charge them $1,000 a month, right?
But I know this, you can't charge me.
Yeah, you can't charge me. No. Right? So there we go. Look how professional
That's amazing.
that looks, right?
And look at the graphics, they're so good.
Yeah, and then you can come back, and then if I look at, okay, what does this look like? Now it creates an infographic,
Nice.
right?
That
So
is so good.
You know, it's funny. I was in my friend's restaurant. He has this beautiful. Actually, you should come to this place in Milton Keynes called Fabrice. Beautiful breakfast.
Mr.
Beautiful.
Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
brother.
So that restaurant, I'm in the restaurant. I just take pictures of all the menus,
Yeah.
took pictures, and then I said, Nova, redesign this person's website, make it look slick, make it look modern. By the time I finished my breakfast, it had already been done.
Wow.
And you know what? He said, oh my God, bro, that's amazing. He then put me in touch with a massive financial firm here it's in Zone 1, Central London, James Street. They have 300 employees, financial advisors, and they now want us to do all the AI for.
Amazing.
That's how you monetize it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's one of the reasons, one of the reasons why I created an AI certification is because when I tried to hire AI people, no one applied for the job because they didn't know how to do it. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to train my own, certify my own.
That's so amazing.
And I hire them back into my company.
I like that. Reply them. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing.
Yes.
Last question.
Yeah. So
AI for good.
Yeah. So, I have 5 of my employees. They're from India. They've been with me for the last 10 years. When they started working with me, right, I paid them a certain amount of money. Now I pay them 5,000 a month, pounds. You know how much that is in their currency? It's a lot of money.
A lot.
Right? So what does every place in the world have? Right? They've got a mobile phone. They have an internet connection. Do you know how much these guys are making now? Because now they've been working with me. They're like, oh, John, this is really good. So I said, you should do with me what you do with other people as well. Because I do my editing and do things like that. So they're now getting clients in from because the problem was before, it's like, oh, but John, if I call people, then my accent's going to be off or I can't speak the language. But then you can have stuff like this. Look.
Businesses and learning how to monetize it. Fähigkeiten, die sie lernen können, ist die Macht der künstlichen Intelligenz zu lernen, wie man in Unternehmen zu setzen.
Any language.
zu machen。あなたが学ぶことができるスキルは人工知能の力を学ぶことであり、それをビジネスに投入し、収益化する方法を学ぶことである。Habilidades que usted puede aprender es el poder de la inteligencia artificial.
So now the level playing field is levels for everybody.
Absolutely.
I have people in the Philippines and in India and lots of places around the world who are making more than CEOs and doctors in this country.
Yes.
Because now they have scale. Now they can do outreach. Now they can, oh, my language, English is not good. Reword it for the American market. Reword it for the British market. And so that's what part of what we have to do. You know, my daughter now, right? She's 7 years old. You know what she says to me? Daddy, like, can you teach me AI? It's not Barbies anymore. So we were in the Bahamas and I was like, okay, what do you want to do? So at that time, Stranger Things was coming out. So I asked her, okay, what do you want to do, honey? And she's like, I want to draw some monsters. So we're playing on the beach and then she drew some monsters and I put it into AI and we turned it into a full-fledged animated AI.
Amazing.
Right? Then what we did, we took that AI and then we said, okay, let's turn it into a cartoon because she likes cartoons. Then you know what you can do now? You can actually take that and put it on YouTube now as nursery rhymes. You know how many kids, they keep watching YouTube videos, right?
Yeah.
And do you know that if you want to upload things on YouTube, every time someone watches a video, you get paid money for it. That's so powerful, right? So now she's like, Daddy, can I have a 3D printer? I said, why? Because now she wants to take that character, put it into 3D mesh in AI, create a 3D replica, and then actually print the actual monster so she can sell it.
Wow.
So
these toys. I mean, that's amazing. So just a concept and then created a cartoon and then it could be in real 3D form as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, so this was the, like, right? And then we put the monster in there. Look at this.
Oh, wow. It's got a movie.
So stuff like that. Like,
I love it.
We actually, the reason why we all need to learn AI is to pass it on to the next generation.
Yes.
Because when they get it, and now kids are smart, like Gen Zs, now people think they're lazy. They're not, they're just super smart, right? They don't want to do the hard work. They want to do the smart work.
Yes.
Right. And so this is where we are in the world right now.
Amazing. There's so much to learn and we will definitely see everybody in London for the dates. I want to please give a big round of applause for John Lee.
Thank you.
Absolutely honored.
Give me a round of applause.
Thank you so much. Thank you.